I feel like, man, whatever you do wrong must come back around in a circle. Just like, you know what I'm talking about? If you did wrong and everybody know it's blatant, the truth is out in the open. You sent that type of energy towards the young Dolph way, and you got no young Dolph knocked off. I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who said the whole, supposedly, you know what I'm saying, Dolph murder.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just Memphis one of them cities like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention, it always been a artist at the city center. I'm the king of Memphis. I'm the king of Memphis. That's why it done been so hard for other artists to pop out and take off, because everybody want to be that the big one is just me. You know what I mean? But
CMG's whole empire is starting to look shaky right in front of everyone's eyes. For years, the streets kept whispering that something was in tea right behind Yo Gotti's glossy image. But now those whispers are turning into alarms echoing across Memphis like never before. Stan G, one of the most respected voices in the city, just dropped a heavy bomb on No Jumper, and the whole interview felt like a warning shot. He didn't hint or dance around it, said it straight with confidence. Yo Gotti might actually be lining up a move against his own artist, Blac Youngsta. And this ain't coming from random online drama. This is coming from a dude who talks to the same people who were close to the young Dolph situation.
Hell, at this point, because you lost all the city, his last artist is Glorilla. She doing crazy because he putting a crazy bag behind Glorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So Glorilla, she gonna shine regardless right now. But when he go over there and dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere he go to, like the Fed watching it. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy over there, that boy end up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right.
So when Stan G speaks, people sit up and listen because his words hit different. He said that the same energy Gotti allegedly pushed toward Dolph is what ended up getting that man targeted. And if Gotti could move like that against someone he didn't rock with, what would stop him from switching up on someone inside his own building? That question alone shook people. Stan G kept it raw. He said Blac Youngsta was basically Gotti's sin, the guy willing to wild out for the team. He was the loud one in the videos, the one frontlining the drama, the one saying stuff others would never dare put on camera. At first, it helped CMG keep the spotlight. The buzz was crazy, the streets were talking, and everything Gotti touched felt untouchable. But now, that same energy is hitting too close to home, with Dolph's situation still heavy over Memphis.
Cause bro, it's like, what, if you so gangster, why the f you rapping? Why you ain't out there kidding? You need to go do some murders, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a killer, go kill some shit. You right here on this stage for, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it like, so many people want to be rappers. And so many people I ain't no rapper on the street. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much bullshit. So I had to wonder to myself, like.
Stan G said the role Youngsta played doesn't look like power anymore. It looks like straight risk. And in Gotti's world, risk don't get rewarded. Risk gets replaced. That's how fast things move when the walls start closing in. He didn't even need to spell it out. In CMG, once you stop bringing value, your time starts running out fast. Fans picked up on it right away. This wasn't storytelling. It felt like a direct message. Stan G wasn't out there chasing attention. He was sounding the alarm like he knew something bigger was brewing. He even reminded everyone of a street rule nobody forgets. Whatever energy you throw out into the world always finds a way back to you.
the only reason I didn't do it, like I could have went over there and got with Gotti and got the co-signer and sped my whole process up. But at the same time, I couldn't do it because I had too much of my own money and too much of my own time invested into it.
Mm.
So it wouldn't have made sense for me.
It's business.
You see what I'm saying? And man, it's like, that's Memphis, bro. That town is too small. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, if anything, if he wanted to do something, I wanted to do something, bro, it's like, let's do it. That town is small.
In the way Gotti been moving lately, Youngsta's loyalty might actually be the same thing that puts him in real danger. That part had people sitting back like, wait, this could get serious. CMG used to look like a powerhouse. Gotti had a dream lineup. Moneybag Yo flooding playlists. Blac Youngsta turning everything viral off pure energy. And Glorilla walking in and blowing the whole industry wide open like a tornado. From the outside, it looked like a strong, tight family with everybody shining together. But that picture doesn't match reality anymore. Moneybag's momentum slowed down, Youngsta's energy got quiet, and Gotti's focus seems locked onto Glorilla. the only artist still bringing non-stop heat under the label.
Like that.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back.
But even she's carrying heavy weight because right now she sees the one holding CMG's name together while the rest of the camp looks unstable. Instead of family vibes, everything feels like survival mode. People are asking who's really safe in this camp and who might be next to fall out. And right when the whispers were getting loud, something else pushed the tension even higher. Blac Youngsta suddenly wiped CMG out of his bio. And that move hit the internet like a flash because it was indeed no small update. It looked like a straight message. Then he started dropping those cryptic captions, the kind that feel like quiet shots aimed at somebody he used to stand beside. Right when Youngsta started acting distant, Stan G circled back with another heavy warning, and that's when the whole vibe changed. People stopped laughing at the situation, stopped calling it trolling, started realizing this might actually be something real brewing behind the scenes.
On time, see, it's a long story behind Blac Youngsta. See, Blac Youngsta was hanging with one of Gotti enemies before he got with Gotti. Okay. So Blac Youngsta is somebody who just jump around for the money. He's just a send out. He one of the biggest send outs from Memphis. They just keep.
The energy around CMG shifted fast, like the whole camp was moving different overnight. Fans began picking up on that weird tension. The crew don't look locked in like before. Every post feels like somebody hiding something. Every move looks calculated. And all that talk about loyalty suddenly don't hit the same anymore. Something feels off, and people are watching every detail like detectives. To understand why things are so tense between Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta, you got TA run the story back to young Dolph because that S where the whole storm started. Years ago, Gotti tried to sign Dolph, but Dolph turned him down a clean, straight rejection. And that one moment flipped everything. Gotti didn't take that no lightly. He didn't walk away and mind his business. Instead, he allegedly started blocking Dolph's moves, trying to slow down his rise. But the crazy part? It did the opposite.
Y'all rich tell them bitch what it is, bro.
Wild fan shit, y'all fly niggas,
Look,
CMG
big.
shit, y'all rich niggas, every count shit.
Nah, I would never f them broke ass. Like, shit. When I was broke, why would I f them now they broke? It ain't my fault you broke. You are playing on me. I'm telling my mom. Ooh, I'm pregnant. Ooh, my shoe just fell out. Ooh, my head just fell out. Ooh.
Dolph got even hotter, more respected, more independent. And what started as industry competition slowly turned into something personal that everybody in Memphis could feel. Tracks started flying. Interviews got messy, and what was just music turned into real-life tension. And right in the middle of all that smoke stood Blac Youngsta, loud, wild, and ready to move on whatever he felt needed handling. He wasn't just making songs. He was literally outside, acting on it, pulling up to neighborhoods, filming wild videos, doing things rappers would never risk because it could bring real danger. At first, people thought it was just his brand, that loud, animated energy that made him stand out. But looking back now, it feels way too reckless to be just branding. Even Stan G said it straight. That was a federal move because Youngsta was putting himself in spots that could have brought serious heat down on him and everyone around him. Even if nothing was ever proven against Yo Gotti or Blac Youngsta, the streets already formed their opinion. And once your name gets tied to something that heavy, that cloud follows you forever. That's the dark shadow sitting over CMG right now. And that's exactly why Youngsta doesn't look like the golden ticket anymore. He looks like a reminder of something the label can shake off, no matter how much success they push. There was a time when Youngsta was CMG's wild card, the spark plug. He was the life of the label, doing jokes, pulling stunts, flashing money, moving loud online, keeping CMG trending all day. Whenever Gotti needed attention back on the brand, Youngsta turned the heat up instantly. Fans loved him for that. They saw him as the loyal soldier, the guy who'd stand with the label no matter what, no questions asked. That loyalty kept his fan base strong and made people feel like he was CMG to the core.
Come well regarded. I mean, Sean Jay-Z Carter speaks very highly of you, right? I mean, Steve Stout speaks very highly of you. You know, I can't find a person that says anything bad about Yo Gotti, and they always say how smart you are, how focused you are, and a lot to get into about your business personality.
Jury found the defendant, Hernandez Govan, not guilty in count 2 of the indictment.
It was said more than once as the 45-year-old was acquitted on both counts. Govan was unable to contain his excitement as he embraced his pro bono defense attorneys, but out of view were the supporters of young Dolph who were hoping Lady Justice would tip in their.
But Stan G looked at it from a whole different angle. He didn't see loyalty. He saw something that looked more like manipulation. He said Youngsta was one of the biggest sendouts in Memphis, meaning Gotti would allegedly send him to handle the risky situations while he stayed clean in the background. And when you look back at all those wild moments, all those dangerous moves, all those higher-risk stunts Youngsta pulled, the picture really does start to look that way. Gotti's sitting back, cool, calm, and untouched, playing the clean-cut boss role while Blac Youngsta was the one out front taking all the hits on camera. That setup worked back when it was all about going viral and keeping the label buzzing. But that type of role doesn't last forever, especially once Dolph was gone. Everything shifted, and the same antics that once looked funny suddenly looked risky and explosive. The loyalty that once made Youngsta look like CMG's heart now made him look reckless, like someone carrying too much heat on his back. Every diss, every old beef, every graveyard lyric that folks still remember hit different now. What used to make him the spark of the label now makes him feel like the heaviest weight Gotti has to drag behind him. Every wild stunt, every reckless video, all of it got tied straight back to Youngsta, and that shadow started to grow bigger than the music itself. Now he's gone quiet. And Stan G even said it straight. Youngsta is in hide mode because the Dolph situation still hangs heavy over him like a cloud that won't move. To the streets, silence looks like guilt or like somebody who feels the pressure closing in. And to Yo Gotti, that silence screams one word: liability. The type of artist who could bring the wrong attention at the absolute worst time. That's when it became obvious something inside CMG ain't sitting right anymore. Youngsta has gone viral multiple times for wiping CMG out of his bio and posting like he's fully independent. Every time it happens, fans jump into full detective mode, guessing and arguing while timelines go crazy. Then, like clockwork, he usually pops up again under the CMG umbrella, like nothing happened. But this time, nah, this one feels different. The tension is too thick, too loud, and too emotional to brush off. With Stan G's warning still echoing around Memphis, Youngsta started posting long, emotional rants, and these weren't random vent sessions. He was calling out fake CEOs, fake big homies, fake brothers, titles people have been attaching to Yo Gotti for years. He didn't have to name anybody. The message landed exactly where he wanted it to. Then he doubled down, talking about fake loyalty, fake love, and trusting the wrong people. And the tone didn't feel playful at all. It felt bitter, personal, and heavy, like someone realizing the game he thought he understood might have been using him the whole time. And after everything that's gone down these last few years, fans can't help but wonder if this is finally the moment where Blac Youngsta breaks away from CMG for good. What shook people the most wasn't the drama, it was how emotional Youngsta sounded. He wasn't bragging about money or chains. He was talking about losing friends, being isolated, and how even when you get rich, you can still feel vulnerable, alone, and targeted. Ain't that type of talk hit deep because it didn't. T sound like a man chasing clicks. It sounded like someone who feels the walls tightening around him. The timing was too perfect to ignore. Fans were already whispering that CMG was cracking from the inside. And then Youngsta stepped in with posts that basically confirmed what everyone suspected. This camp is not as strong or united as it pretends to be. The foundation looks shaky, and every message Youngsta dropped made it shake even harder. He never said Yo Gotti's name directly, but he didn't have to. Anyone with eyes could tell exactly who those messages were aimed at. The tension was loud, clear, and impossible to miss. You didn't need to read between lines. The lines were already drawn in bold. And then there's Gotti. Yo Gotti has always styled himself like a real mob boss, calm and collected. A man who moves like nothing can touch him. Yo Gotti's name comes from John Gotti. That's the image he has been building for years. Strong, quiet power that makes everybody else fall in line. So when Yo Gotti threw those fake CEO and fake boss shots, Gotti didn't let it slide. He fired back in his own slick way, dropping bars coded in that mafia-style talk, and even referencing Jay-Z's Thai intro just to remind everyone who really sits at the head of the table. That was his way of saying, don't get confused, I'm still in control. That's when things shifted from tense to scary, because in any mob-style setup, breaking rank ain't just disrespect, it's straight betrayal, and betrayal doesn't end clean. That type of move brings real consequences, especially in a world built on loyalty, fear, and unspoken codes. After young Dolph's death, the tension between Blac Youngsta and Gotti didn't feel like whispers anymore. It became visible in the music, the posts, and the silence that followed. CMG's perfect, polished image officially cracked. When Dolph was killed, the streets didn't wait. They pointed fingers immediately, and many of those fingers aimed right at CMG. Even Yo Gotti's own brother, Big Juke, got picked up and questioned by police, a moment that shook the whole city and had people talking non-stop. Then, just recently, the man accused of killing Dolph Hernandez Govan got acquitted. And that verdict sent shockwaves everywhere. Folks watching the situation felt the tension around CMG shoot straight back up like a pressure cooker. The last thing Gotti needed at a moment like that was someone on his own team stirring up more noise. But that's exactly what Blac Youngsta did. Out of nowhere, he dropped a music video filmed at a gravesite, standing next to a headstone with Dolph's last name clearly visible. Then he doubled down online, posting wild messages like he didn't care what fans, the streets, or the industry thought. Maybe in his mind, that was loyalty, that ride until the end mentality that built his whole brand. But to Gotti, that was a nightmare. It looked reckless, insensitive, and dangerous for the entire CMG name. Fans noticed the shift instantly. What once looked like loyalty now felt like a ticking time bomb that could take the whole label down if it blew at the wrong moment. The cracks between Youngsta and Gotti weren't tea rumors anymore. They were right in front of everyone. CMG started losing its shine fast. Moneybagg Yo's run slowed down. 42 Doug got caught up in legal drama, and Blac Youngsta went silent like he knew every move was being watched. Even Stan G said it out loud. Gotti can't move the way he used to. Too much heat, too much attention, too many eyes waiting for something to slip since Dolph's death. The streets feel it, the industry feels it, and Memphis definitely feels it. Now the only person still keeping CMG's name alive in the spotlight is Glorilla. She's the last spark holding the weight. But no matter how talented she is, one artist can't carry an entire empire on her shoulders forever. The momentum is fading, loyalty is breaking apart, and what used to be an untouchable CMG machine is now looking more fragile every day. And now the talk around CMG and T about who's next to blow up. It's about who's next to fall out. It's not about who is next to blow up anymore. It is about who's next to fall out. And that's where things get dangerous for Blac Youngsta. Everybody knows Yo Gotti isn't just another rapper dropping songs. He's connected in ways most people never see. Stan G said it. Clear as daylight, Gotti has ties in places regular artists can reach. Places where one call can freeze you out of the game completely. So when Youngsta starts throwing shade online, this ain't simple rebellion. This is risky business. In a world where loyalty is treated like currency, being labeled a liability by someone like Gotti doesn't just mean losing a spot on the label, it could mean losing everything you built. The silence between them is so thick that it feels louder than any diss track. Let's be honest, if Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta ever go head-to-head for real, this won't be harmless music drama. This could get ugly fast. Gotti moves like the unofficial president of Memphis, with power stretching from the studio to the streets, from the business side to the industry boardrooms. His reach is long, and everybody knows it. And if things ever spill into real life, we're no longer talking about rappers trading shots on beats. We're talking about something that could pull in families, friends, crews. Whole circles could get wrapped into something none of them asked for. That's why so many people are nervous watching this unfold. But here's the twist. Blac Youngsta ain't built to fold. He's never been the type to bow his head or stay silent when he feels crossed. That same wild energy that made him a fan favorite is exactly what makes this situation feel like it's about to tip over the edge. Youngsta is unpredictable, emotional, and never scared to say exactly what's on his mind. That's the reason people loved him, the reason CMG once felt unstoppable. But now, that same energy makes him the most dangerous piece on the board. When you mix Youngsta's raw, quick Toriak personality with Gotti's cold, Calculated boss style, that's a recipe for something explosive. Fans can feel it brewing like a storm. Nobody wants to watch this turn into another tragedy like what happened with Dolph. The tension is too real, too close, too familiar. Youngsta has been calling out fake CEOs while Stan G is warning the whole city that Gotti might see him as a problem. That is not subtle. That is red flag energy glowing heavy like a warning sign you can't ignore. The streets are paying attention, and even fans who once praised CMG for sticking together are now whispering about how dark this could get. If the situation doesn't settle soon, CMG won't just lose an artist, it could lose its whole legacy. The empire Gotti built off loyalty, hustle, and power is looking shaky right in front of the world. That untouchable image is cracking, and the pressure is squeezing everyone involved. The question I ascend to whether CMG is breaking apart. That part is already showing itself plain as day. The real question now is, how far is Gotti willing to go to keep control? Because if Stan G's warning holds any truth, then Blac Youngsta might be standing on the edge of something way darker than a rap argument. This story is still unfolding, and the stakes are getting higher with every move. So what do you think? Did Youngsta go too far? Or is Gotti really cutting off his own people?